Hello everyone, welcome to StudyIQ IS English channel. My name is Shubham Sagar and today we have to do Hindu analysis of 11th June 2025. So let's start with the discussion and I will tell you the pattern here. So let's say we are talking about one particular article. Let's say we talk about this article which is there on page 1 of the Hindu. India's population has hit 146.39. After decimal, you won't read it as 39. Many people do that mistake. This is 39 crore according to UNFPA, United Nations Populations Fund. Headquarter is in New York, USA. When was it established? We'll talk about it. There will be some keywords here. We'll talk about that. Then this whole thing, India's population, important from GS Mains Paper 1, population. In GS Mains Paper 1, you have this particular topic, population. So once we have done this article, we'll solve some questions on it. Either some PYQs on it or some MCQs on it. And one article we have done, we'll solve some PYQs or MCQs and then we'll go on to the other article. What will happen in that scenario, I will also get a time to take some breather. At the same time, you will also recall stuff. Cool. So this is the news. Now we are the most populous country in the world and our total fertility rate has declined to 1.9. I think yesterday also we were having this particular discussion related to what is total fertility rate, replacement level fertility. Replacement level fertility is 2.1. So if a country's total fertility rate is 2.1, that means the population will remain constant. If it is less than 2.1, that means the population will decrease. That means since India's total fertility rate has declined to 1.9, that means our population will now decrease. It will stabilize and then it will decrease. So we'll talk about all these things. Also, UNFPA. Things related to UNFPA is also important from exam perspective. So let's go one by one and let's talk about this article. India's population estimate, you can have a look at this. We have just discussed 146.39. And this is not like only UNFPA has talked about it. Even earlier, there was a journal which was known as Lancet. They have also released some population study and more or less this whole study by UNFPA is corroborating that previous study, and then Indian government has also done some studies, and more or less all these studies are agreeing with each other, if we can say that. So you can see all these facts, we have just discussed it. Now India's total fertility rate, oh my god, India's TFR has declined to 1.9, below the replacement level, fertility of 2.1. Awesome. This is actually good because if you see UPSC mains question related to population, GS mains paper 1, time and again, UPSC has asked this, that population is the major issue. Then you read about vicious cycle, virtuous cycle. In vicious cycle, you read about poverty. When people are poor, then they will produce more child, which will increase population because they need more helping hands, which can help them earn. So poverty will breed more population. That will breed more illiteracy because you cannot teach them. That will again breed more poverty. So this is a vicious cycle. Okay. So again, you can see here, our population, it's not like it will start declining now onwards only. It will reach a peak of 170 crore. So currently it is hovering around 145 crore. It will again increase up until a point 170 crore and then it will decrease. Cool, sir. And again, it is aligning with India's report. Also, there was an earlier report by Lancet. That report is also more or less saying the same thing. Here, there will be again another term which was, I think, asked by UPSC in UPSC pre-2021. That particular term is demographic dividend. Demographic dividend, which is population in the category of 15 to 64. So remember these keywords, they are actually important. So definition of TFR, total fertility rate, this we have discussed. How many kids a woman is bearing throughout her or during her reproductive years, that is TFR. Replacement level fertility is the rate required to sustain population level. If a country's TFR is 2.1, the population will remain constant. If it increases or goes beyond 2.1, the population will increase and vice versa. Real fertility crisis. Now, this is actually a very unique point given by UNFPA. This particular point is saying that the real issue is not this, population increase, decrease. The real issue is there are many people who are not able to achieve their desired fertility goals. Let's say they want 1 children, they have 2. Let's say they want, 2 children, they have none. So because of some, lack of awareness and other stuff, this whole thing is happening. Many people in millions, 1 million is 10 lakh. So millions of people, they are not achieving their desired fertility goals. Maybe one reason is late marriage. If you know some other reason, you can post it in the comment section. And again, that's why UNFPA is saying that we need to have more reproductive choices. If women are freezing their eggs, it's actually a welcome initiative because people should know. And they should achieve their fertility goal, whatever it is. Cool, sir. Now, if we go back again, even before I show you this, let me show you something else. If we go back to this particular image, there they have shown the fertility rate of different countries as well. If you go to this image, see here, China, their total fertility rate is 1. Many people believe in one child policy they have. Many people believe this is not actually good. This will lead to drastic population of China. Bhutan doing better than us. Sri Lanka, Nepal, we all are at constant level. Bangladesh doing worse than us, but still they are at 2.1. That means their population will remain constant. Pakistan 3.5. It's even bigger than what our like Bihar, Uttar Pradesh, etc. Their total fertility rate is higher. Pakistan's is much higher. And then Afghanistan. Why do you think Afghanistan has total fertility rate more than 4.5? Thank you, Monu. Good morning. Good morning, Sneha. And yeah, I'm glad to see you here as well, Monu. So the point is, see here, these data are actually very important. You can make a graph when you're writing any question on mains where they're talking about GS like population. You can use this data. You can cite the source as UNFPA for 2025 data or data for 2025. And then you can talk about all these things, how we are faring much better than our neighboring countries. And again, so you can use this particular graph. And again, this is an interesting analysis. Cool. Let's move on. Because we have so many, like there are so many articles today which we have to talk about. Cool, sir. Now this is the youth population breakdown of India, which shows that we are in our, demographic dividend phase. We have a high population in the youth stage. And this is the 15 to 64 years working age population. 68% of our population. 68 out of 100 people, they lie in this particular category. But many people believe that if you don't tap into this demographic dividend, it can turn into a demographic disaster. So we need to focus on, in GS Mains Paper 3, you read something about inclusive growth. Growth of all sections of society, leaving no one behind. So we have to, and in that employment is also a very key criteria. So we have to take care of our demographic dividend. UPSC pre-2021, they have already asked a question on this particular demographic dividend. Where can we find the PDF of this session? Sneha, there is a Telegram channel of mine, Fun Study with Shubh. If you just go on Telegram and you just type Fun Study with Shubh, you will get the PDF. I will show you that link. Let me show you right now only, since you asked, and then we'll come back and we'll read about so many things. I think there are 7 or 8 articles today. So this is the Telegram channel, Sneha. So I will post it after the lecture is done. I will post it here. This Fun Study with Shubh. Just type it and you will find it. Cool, sir. I think even if you type Fun Study, they will start showing my Telegram channel. I don't know. Maybe. Yes. So let's come here. 65 years and older. Slowly and gradually, this demographic dividend of ours will go into the aging population, and that will increase. That's what they are saying. Cool. Now let's move on. UNFPA. See, earlier the name was United Nations Fund for Population Activities. They have kept that initials, but now it is known as UN, population fund. So remember the name, that is actually important. When was it established? Sometimes they can give you different organization. Okay. Welcome, Sneha. So, I think I have said good morning to Shashmita. So, where were we? So, they can give you different organizations. They can tell you to establish them or arrange them in hierarchy. So, if you can remember the year, awesome. Headquarter, New York City, USA. In USA, you also have the headquarter of World Bank and World Bank Group. But that is not in New York City. That is in Washington, D.C. Now, there's one question for you since we are talking. So, World Bank and World Bank Group, they are not equal to each other. There is a difference between them. There is a difference between World Bank and World Bank Group. What is the difference? Again, if you know it, you can post it in the comment section. And IBRD, IDA, there are different organizations. International Bank for Reconstruction and Development, International Development Association. They are associated with what? So, World Bank and World Bank Group. Find out the difference also. These are all homeworks. The more homeworks you do, the better you will become when it comes to these affairs. Okay, and they also published this particular report, State of the World Population Report. Remember these reports because Global Gender Gap Report, they can ask you different reports, who publishes it, and they have asked it so many times. Also this thing, whether they release it annually, biannually, biennially, there are different words. Annually, once a year, and then biannually means, like twice in a year. Then there is something called as biennial. Biennial is once in 2 years. Triennial, once in 3 years. So remember these words, they are actually critical. These are the keywords. Cool, sir. Mission and objective, Sexual and Reproductive Health Agency, it is of UN, and see, this is the objective. Every pregnancy is wanted, every childbirth is safe, every young person's potential is fulfilled. Since they are talking about childbirth, I just remember there is one scheme of ours which is known as Janani Suraksha Yojana, which is world's largest institutional delivery mechanism. Again, a homework, read some of the features of Janani Suraksha Yojana. When was it launched, and what are the major objectives? Just like we have read the objective of UN FPA. Cool, sir? Now, some MCQs based on whatever we have read. See this. Cool, Sneha, nice. MCQ 1. As per UNFPA report titled State of the World Population 2025, India's total fertility rate has A. increased to 2.2, and again, I think yesterday I told you answers once we were done with the session in the PDF. Today I will tell you the answer right now only. So we'll do multiple questions, I think 7 or 8. At the end, you can also tell your score, how many you scored out of 8 questions, let's say, if we have done. So what is the answer? India's total TFR has increased to 2.2, remains stable at 2.1, declined to 1.9, or dropped to 1.6. Where are you from, Sneha? And Shashmita, you also. Where are you two people from? So Shashmita, Sneha, they have given the answer. India's TFR has reduced to 1.9. So it is lesser than replacement level fertility. Slowly and gradually, our population will reach its peak around 170 crore and then it will decline. Currently, it is hovering around 145 crore. The correct answer is C, decline to 1.9. Next question, MCQ 2. What is the replacement level TFR for a population to remain stable over time? Cool. Like, my house is also in Bihar, although my family is currently living in Bengal. So, yeah, like, I have one house in Bhagalpur, other in Patna. Currently, we are living in New Town. That is in Kolkata, So, yes, sir. What is the replacement level TFR for a population to remain stable over time? The answer is, this is an easy question, right? So, replacement level TFR is, who answered it? Priya has answered it. Cool, Priya. B, 2.1. So, if your RLF is 2.1, that means your population will remain constant. Greater than 2.1, population will increase. Lesser than 2.1, population will decrease. So, RLF 2.1. I'm a new student here, sir, and I want to continue this. Do continue this. Discipline is key, and we will also continue this. Next article of the day. So we have done one article, we have solved 2 MCQs. Hazard of going global on India-Pakistan issue. Now, this is an editorial which is there on page 8, and the person who has written it, T.P. Srinivasan, he is a former ambassador of India. So whatever he is saying means a lot because, So now let me give you a brief overview. 3 major India-Pakistan war has happened, although first is 1947 war because of, instrument of accession. The ruler was Hari Singh. He was a Hindu ruler ruling over a Muslim majority area. Cool. I will just come to your query, Priya. So the point is what we were discussing. 1947 war happened, and at that time, Pakistan took 1/3 of Kashmir. That became Pakistan occupied Kashmir. 1965, India-Pakistan war happened because just 3 years before Sino-India war has happened, Pakistan felt like we are weaker at that point of time, and that's why they waged the war in 1965. The resultant, we defeated them, and then Tashkent Declaration happened, where one day after we lost our Prime Minister Lal Bahadur Shastri sir. Because of the things which happened in 1960s, 1962-65, RAW was formed. Research and Analysis Wing was formed in 1968, and that played a crucial role in our decisive victory in 1971 war. That 1971 war was the first war which was not fought over Kashmir. That was fought over East Pakistan. Bengali versus Urdu issue. So all these, and then after 1971 war, we had the Shimla Declaration. So all this is just a brief thing so that you can remember Tashkent Declaration was signed after which India-Pakistan war, Shimla Declaration was signed after which India-Pakistan war. So Priya asked, I just passed 12th, want to start preparation, how can I start? Just follow us diligently, Priya. There are 2 sources, PYQs and syllabus. So those things will be covered by us, and then you have to decide your optional. So slowly and gradually take things. Don't, worry too much about it. Book list for prelims. Okay. Yes, let's continue the discussion. So I will take all these doubts one by one. At the end also, I can take all these doubts at once. I will take all these doubts if I leave any. So Ali's doubt, Sneha's doubt, and Sneha has no doubt, and Sneha has answered to Priya. So we'll talk about all these things. Cool, let's come back. So what this sir is saying, TP Srinivasan sir is saying that we cannot rely on UN, we cannot rely on other organizations. When we talk about terrorists, they feel like, and even in Shanghai Cooperation Organization, India and Pakistan has joined. And we keep on talking about what Pakistan does, the acts of terror. And for us, these acts of terror is a, like we believe it, it's an act of war. They don't believe it. Also, there is no exact definition of terrorism. Who is a terrorist? One country's terrorist becomes other country's freedom fighter. So TP Srinivasan sir is saying that we cannot rely on any multilateral organization. What we have to do, Pakistan has a policy, war of 1,000 cuts. They want to bleed us from inside. And if if you want to, the point is, we have to take care of our own stuff. The things which we are doing right now, where we are going and we are doing, and we are not attacking their civilian base. We are just interested in, we are retaliating. Earlier, we were not retaliating. The international stance was, you are a responsible big brother. So just skip and don't, get invoked in this thing, whatever Pakistan does. But now we are reciprocating, we are giving answers according to TP Srinivasan sir. This is the correct way to go. We cannot rely on UN, we cannot rely on anybody. Cool. So again, let's have a look at this. Operation Sindoor highlights diplomatic futility. Again, they are saying that all these things where we are going to multilateral diplomacy, this and that is not working when it comes to proxy war. Very good, Shashmita. We'll talk about proxy war. There is a Russia-Ukraine issue also. So international perception, we talk about like Jammu Kashmir is an integral part of India. I have just told you the first war, the first India-Pakistan major war, which happened in 1947, Pakistan took 1/3 of Kashmir. So now UN, they have their own maps. And they are like, nah. Status of J&K is unresolved. What also happened after first India-Pakistan war was, Jawaharlal Nehru sir, he took this whole issue to UNSC. And this issue, which was a bilateral issue or issue between two neighboring countries, became an international issue. So this is the point which is going on. They don't believe in our map, they have their own maps. These maps contain disclaimers again. So this is one point why we cannot rely on them, because they have already Azad Kashmir and this and that, they keep on saying all those stuff. India treat terrorist attacks as acts of war. UN has not endorsed this. But because, again, we have discussed one thing, there is no fixed definition of terrorism. They feel like one country's terrorist is another country's freedom fighter. And that happens even in SCO. I will show you. When you will read Shanghai Cooperation Organization, we'll talk about it whenever any issue crops up. So in Shanghai Cooperation Organization, you have this RATS, Regional Anti-Terrorist Structure. And here we talk about terrorism. We keep on talking about Pakistan acts of terrorism. And then again, the whole thing that no, what is the definition of terrorism? There's no universal definition. Security Council focus, you can read all these things. Nuclear dimension. These people, the international arena feels like Kashmir is a potential nuclear flashpoint. And that's why the third party intervention happened. And you can say US intervene and all those things. Although many people believe that Trump is just a limelight hogger. He just want to hog the limelight, and all these things will not work. We have a no first use policy. Pakistan is continuously increasing their nuclear stockpile. So something has to be done, but it has to be done by India and Pakistan only. We cannot rely on these multilateral forums. That is what this author is saying. Given Pakistan's ongoing low intensity warfare strategy, remember this, a war of 1,000 cuts. This is their policy, that we will bleed India from inside. We will support the Naxalist activities which is going on in Chhattisgarh, Dantewada district and other areas. So we will bleed India from inside, and this Kashmir Act is one of the 1,000 cuts, or one of the many 1,000 cuts you can say. So India may need to rely on military action. International forums are unlikely to provide. So you got one perspective from our former ambassador. Whatever has to be done by us only. Now let's solve MCQ 3 based on always Trump, always chickens out. Exactly. So let's solve MCQ 3 based on whatever we have read. So, in the meantime, when you're seeing this question, Priya has asked, how can I start? So, Priya, I have told you the answer. Start in a gradual manner. Have a look at your UPSC syllabus. Try to paste your GS Mains 1 to 4 syllabus on your wall and that will actually help a lot. And book list for prelims, Elise has asked. So currently, like, Elise, what is your background, Elise? If you can tell me, like, have you done graduation and everything? Then accordingly, I can tell you the book list for prelims. So Tashkent Agreement between India and Pakistan was signed in the aftermath of Indo-Pak War of 1947. Indo-Pak War, we have talked about this, first, second and third. I have given you the brief overview. The answer here is Tashkent Agreement signed in the aftermath of, who has answered it? Sneha Shashmita. So Indo-Pak War of 1965 and Tashkent Declaration one day after Lal Bahadur Shastri sir died. Tashkent File is a movie made on that. I have not seen it. So the answer is B, Indo-Pak War of 1965. Cool, sir? Not cool, sad. Now let's talk about third article of the day. Page number 13. Initiate proceedings to elect deputy speaker, says Kharge in letter to Modi. So what is happening here? Up until 16 Lok Sabhas, 1st to 16, we have this speaker and deputy speaker post in Lok Sabha. And up until, sir, can you make a video on syllabus decoding for us? I think most of us are beginners. Don't worry. We'll do that. We'll have a discussion on that. And there is another video which I have made. If you're preparing for, let's say, 2026 or even after that, there is a video. If you search, if you go on this channel only, Sneha, you will find it. So let's focus here. So up until 16th Lok Sabha, we had speaker and deputy speaker. Up until 10th Lok Sabha, speaker and deputy speaker, they belong to the ruling party. Then from 11th Lok Sabha onwards, there was a convention. It is not written in the constitution. There was a convention that speaker will come from ruling party and deputy speaker will come from opposition party. The power of deputy speaker will be exactly same as speaker. Speaker will decide the date when the election for deputy speaker will happen. And that generally used to happen in the first, second and third session or sitting of Lok Sabha. So it used to happen. But now what has happened is, from 2014 to 2019 session, no deputy speaker. From 2019 to 2024, no deputy speaker. And now again from 2024 to 2019, no deputy speaker. So again, this sir here, Mallikarjun Kharge sir, who is Congress president, he is saying that this is not setting a good convention. This is undermining our democracy rather, and we should have a deputy speaker. What is stopping you, sir, Narendra Modi sir, from having a deputy speaker? Because we had this, an Article 93 of Indian Constitution. It also say that we should have a speaker and a deputy speaker. So let's have a deputy speaker. Let's maintain the democratic, ethos of our country. So you can read this thing. Mallikarjun Kharge, he's writing a letter. Why he's writing a letter? Because there is a session of parliament which will be starting in July. So he feels like if he is raising the issue right now, that thing will be resolved later on. Cool, Elise. So we'll have a discussion. I will just scroll through all the comments of yours, and at the end also we'll have a discussion. So again, what we were discussing, concerned race, you can read these things, democratic norms, he's saying that, all these things is, and since we are not having this deputy speaker position from like last two Lok Sabha and even in this Lok Sabha, this is undermining India's democratic values. If you feel like it is actually undermining democratic values, please post it in the comment section. You are like, yes sir, it is undermining. We should have a deputy speaker. Or you feel like, no sir, there is no need for deputy speaker. This is just a wastage of resource. So again, this is important from exam perspective. They can directly ask you, because Hindu has raised this issue, they can ask you directly, Article 93 deals with what? And then they can give you the provision. So this is important from pre-perspective. And also from mains perspective, because in mains you have parliament and state legislature. Cool. So here, see this, 93 mandates election of both a speaker and deputy speaker. We have just discussed. Up until 10th Lok Sabha, both were from ruling party. After 10th Lok Sabha till 16th Lok Sabha, speaker ruling party, deputy speaker opposition party. That was the convention, and that is what is written here. And deputy speaker is elected in the second or third session of a newly formed Lok Sabha. The date for election of deputy speaker is decided by the speaker. They have the same power. Historical precedent, you can see here, from the 1st to 16th, the deputy post, again, this is what we were discussing. Till 2014, 16th Lok Sabha, when it ended, there was deputy speaker. But in the last two, 17th, 18th, and even in the 19th Lok Sabha, that is the current, we are having this post vacant. And again, convention, deputy speaker from opposition party. Break in tradition, you can see here, this is what is written, whatever we have discussed. Now the point, if the speaker and deputy speaker have same role, it's wastage of resource. But the point is, Shashmita, why do we have this deputy speaker? Because let's say speaker becomes absent for some reason. Let's say he gets dysentery or something, his stomach is full, or he wants to go to enjoy party, do something. So then somebody has to do the work. Work cannot stop and should not stop. In that scenario, deputy speaker post comes in handy. And that's why we had this deputy speaker post. So again, as Shashmita and Sneha, they are saying that we don't need deputy speaker post. If you people have any views, post it in the comment section regarding this whole thing. So no name proposed, but people feel if let's say in this 19th Lok Sabha, we do have a deputy speaker, this sir here, Kodikunil Suresh, pardon me if I'm pronouncing the name wrong, my Malayali friend, an MP from Kerala, he's seen as a strong choice for deputy speaker post. So again, you can see here why this whole thing has been done, why Mallika Arjun Kharge sir is writing to Modi sir, because monsoon session will be starting in almost 1 month time from July 21. So let's see what happens. But yes, this is the current status. Now, UPSC pre-2022, there they have asked this particular question. So the MCQ, this is the fourth MCQ or the PYQ we are doing, and this is actually a PYQ, not an MCQ, because previously asked question. So try to solve this question. Don't worry about it that, sir, oh my God. Priya is saying we need deputy SP. Okay, Priya. So the house is divided on whether we need speaker or deputy speaker or not. So what is the answer of this question? Asked by UPSC in 2022 prelims. With reference to deputy speaker, consider the following statements. Sometimes what happens when you look at such a big question, you may feel like, oh my God, this is such a big question, I will leave it. The bigger the question, the easier they are actually. They are not that tough. Chepandis. Chepandis means tell me. So, okay. So, I will give you 20 more seconds and then I will tell you the answer. Okay, one thing which works a lot in UPSC, which you have to keep in mind, is option elimination. You don't have to worry about how many statements are given and how much I have read about speaker or deputy speaker. Priya, okay. The one thing which you have to remember is what is wrong. Let's say first statement, as per rules of procedure, conduct of business in Lok Sabha, the election of deputy speaker shall be held on such a date as the speaker may fix. I have repeatedly told you when we were discussing the article that yes, speaker fixed the date for deputy speaker election. So first has to be correct. If first has to be correct, eliminate option, C and D gone. You are left with A and B. You just have to check second. You don't even need to check the third statement. Let's check the second statement. There is a mandatory provision that election of a candidate as deputy speaker shall be from either the principal opposition party or the ruling party. No, there is no mandatory provision. This is just a convention. This is not mandatory, bro. This is a convention. These parties, they have themselves decided that we will do this. This is just a convention, not a mandatory provision. Also, it is not from ruling party. Now deputy speaker comes from opposition party. So second statement is wrong in so many different ways. So second is wrong. The answer is A, 1 and 3 as stated by Shashmita. Yeah, Shashmita, you are... have you done your graduation, Shashmita? Sneha has also given the answer. Cool. So the answer is A, 1 and 3. All these answers are at the end. So you can check it. I am just telling you the answer right now only. Let's go to another article. Page number 4 of today's Hindu. Don't withhold states RTE funds over NEP, Madras High Court. Now, I have made multiple videos on this whole issue. What has happened in Tamil Nadu, 3-language policy, Samagra Shiksha, center has withheld fund. So in 1956, after independence, Speaker G.V. Mavalankar demised after the Deputy Speaker Anger Act. Very good, very good, very good, Priya. Very good. See, Priya has given a valid point why we need Deputy Speaker. In 1956, G.V. Mavalankar sir, who was the Speaker, he died, and then Deputy Speaker, what is the name? Iyengar sir, he acted as Speaker. So we do need it. Again, you can vary and you can have your own view on it. Cool, let's focus. So now, what is the main issue here? For telling you the main issue, let me tell you a little bit of history. And this whole thing is related to something known as linguistic reorganization. I will just take 40 seconds of yours. Just listen to me like you're listening to a story, and then we'll come to this article. You will understand. So this whole thing is associated with linguistic reorganization. That means division of states on the basis of language. In 1920 Nagpur session, Congress said that we will divide, once we get independence, we will divide states on the basis of language. We'll create carve states on the basis of language. In 1930, Odisha and Bihar, they were separated. Many people feel this is the first linguistic reorganization. In 1940s, early 1940s, Congress reaffirmed the stand. In 1947, partition happened. That was bittersweet for us because that came with all the, independence happened, but that was bittersweet because it came with partition. Now our leaders are very, very skeptical. And there are different committees which will be established, SK Dhar or Dhar Commission, then JVP Commission. So these commissions, they are initially rejecting. JVP Commission is saying that we'll consider linguistic reorganization later on because we don't want to divide our country further on the basis of language. It was already divided on the basis of religion. Then there was a guy, his name was Potti Sriramalu sir. He went on to hunger fast, he died, and then Telugu state was carved out. Cool. And then other commission, Fazal Ali Commission came, 14 states, 6 union territories, they were carved out. And that's how state formation happened. This Bombay presidency separated from, this Gujarat region, all these things happened. Punjab, Haryana separated. Now the story is not yet over. There are other things also which we need to understand. In 1960s, we were talking about Lal Bahadur Shastri sir. He said that Hindi is a national language. That led to protest in South India. Then came Indira Gandhi ma'am. She came with 3-language policy, which was first enunciated in 1968 National Policy on Education. So what is the basic meaning of 3-language? That in Tamil Nadu region, let's try to understand it. In Tamil Nadu, they have a vernacular language, that is Tamil. Along with that, English. The third language will be Hindi. In North India, what will happen? They will have South means Hindi, they will have English, and they can take one of the South language, either Tamil, Telugu, Kannada or Malayalam. So this is 3-language policy. Now why center withhold fund of Tamil Nadu to approximately 20,000 crore they withhold? Why? Because center was saying that Tamil Nadu is not implementing 3-language policy. They are not implementing, implementation of Hindi, etc. And this Tamil Nadu government is saying that we have no problems with the provisions of Samagra Shiksha. We have no problem with the provisions of PM Shri scheme. We have no problems with the provision of National Education Policy 2020. We have problems with this forced implementation of Hindi. We don't want it. We don't want forced implementation. And now this Madras High Court is saying that center should not be stopping the amount which they have stopped. 2,000 crore under, overall 20,000 crore has been stopped. They should not be doing that. And Madras High Court is saying that since education comes under concurrent list, so this is not right. Plus, this is not a binding, they are not issuing a binding agreement, because Tamil Nadu has already gone to Supreme Court related to this withdrawal or withheld of, 20,000 crore. So they have issued a non-binding direction to center that please don't do this. This is not good. And then there was another sir, P. Chitambram sir. He said that forget about 3-language, 2-language. In North India, they are just implementing 1-language policy. That is, they are just implementing Hindi. So why is Tamil Nadu penalized for it? So there are so many different perspectives on it. Hope you understood the whole conundrum. Here the thing which is actually important is Right to Education Act. When was it passed? 2009. It mandates free education for children between the age of 6 to 14 years. Which fundamental rights mandate this free education for children between 6 to 14 years? Article 21A. So these are some provisions. You just remember these things. RTE 2009, then RTI 2005. Let's talk about this. Then you will see some other words here. Samagra Shiksha scheme, preschool to class 12. Earlier there used to exist so many schemes. Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan, this Abhiyan, preschool to class 12. So what government has done is they have subsumed all these schemes under Samagra Shiksha scheme. Cool, sir. And there you can see all the points that center has withheld. They have not given 200 crore under RTE. Overall, they have not given more than 2,000 crore to Tamil Nadu. Tamil Nadu has gone to Supreme Court. In the meantime, Madras High Court has issued a non-binding direction to center that please don't do this. This is not good. Again, you can see the whole point. What are the other keywords important from exam perspective? National Education Policy. When was it passed? 2020. Based on the recommendation of which particular committee? K. Kasturi Rangan Committee. Oh my God. So all these things are very important. Education, explicitly mentioned in your GS mains paper 2 syllabus. So again, that is what is written here. They are saying that section 7 of RTE Act, it mandates concurrent responsibility of both center and state government to fund the act's implementation, and they have given different rationale why center should not withhold this particular fund. So center obligation, you can read this thing. I'm not reading. I have just told you the gist. Hope you understood the gist. Since Tamil Nadu has already filed a civil suit, so that's why in Supreme Court, High Court is saying that we are issuing a non-binding judgment. Sneha, if Hindi is our national language, then why is every official work, national work going on? No, there is no national language in our country, Sneha. That is the point. Lal Bahadur Shastri sir, he said Hindi is the national language. Indira Gandhi ma'am clarified it. There is no national language. Hindi is an official language. Do keep it in mind. Cool, sir. So now I have told you the history. What is the history behind it? Linguistic reorganization, 3-language policy, all these things. Hope you understood it. This will come again and again. Now let's solve some questions based on whatever we have read up until now. MCQ 5. The right of children to free and compulsory education. Act 2009 provides free education to all children below the age of 14, all children between 6 and 14 years of age, all children up to 18 years of age, only girl children between 6 and 14 years. Shashmita, you are like super fast here. Priya has also given the answer. Priya, Shashmita. So the answer is RTE mandates or provides free education to all children between 6 and 14 years of age. MCQ 6. Very good, Sneha, Shashmita, Priya. Which article of the Indian Constitution makes education a fundamental right for children aged 6 to 14? Again, Article 21A. Who answered it? Shashmita, Priya, Sneha. Awesome. 21A. B is the answer. Let's move on to the next article of the day. Page number 9, the end game in Russia-Ukraine war. So, KB Usha ma'am, she is talking about the operation drone, the particular drone operation done by Ukraine. And she is saying that this has not happened at a correct time because the peace negotiations are going on in Istanbul. The peace talks are going on in Istanbul. And in the meantime, this whole thing can't be seen as escalatory, but we are entering into the 4th year of Russia-Ukraine war and something has to be done. Since the peace talks are still going on, in spite of all the drone attacks which happened, that shows Russia's willingness also to reach at a negotiation stage. One of the key argument here, which Russia states how the peace agreement will fold or go forward is, Ukraine remains neutral, they don't join NATO. NATO, like North Atlantic Treaty Organization, that was formed during the time of Cold War, when this whole communist versus capitalist ideology was going on, USA versus USSR ideology, and this whole fight was going on, the Cold War was going on. So here, I think Shashmita at the starting, she talked about something known as proxy war. And this is actually a kind of proxy war which is going on between Russia and Ukraine. Proxy war is when two people are involved, but not directly. So here, even though the war is going on between Russia and Ukraine, people feel that it is a war between Russia and US. Because when you will read about NATO, you will realize that in NATO, there is a concept which is known as nuclear sharing. In nuclear sharing, what happens or what has happened is USA has installed its nuclear warheads in different countries of Europe. In nuclear sharing, where US has installed nuclear weapons in different countries of Europe, the ownership still lies with US, but you can understand how the charge or how whole atmosphere has become. Now France has entered into this nuclear sharing posture. They have also said that they will also do the same thing. They have around 290 nuclear warheads and they are saying that they will also install some of the nuclear weapons in different European states. So this is all changing or converting into a proxy war. The war is not fought by France against Russia. The war is not fought by USA against Russia. But this has turned into that. So even Trump, it is said that from the last 3 months, he's trying to enter into a peace negotiation. He has sent different people because this proxy war is not going to help anybody. That is the basic rationale. North Atlantic. It's not I think it's North Atlantic, Shashmita. Cool. So now what is the thing which is important from exam perspective? Operation Spiderweb is associated with which particular country? Remember what is this whole thing all about? And again, you can see here, second round of peace talks is going on in Istanbul. Where is Istanbul? In which country? Do you know it? We should know it. If you know it, post it in the comment section. So again, the strikes raise tension, but at the same time, everybody is tired now. When you read Indian national movement, you read about non-cooperation movement, you read about civil disobedience, oh my god, I'm stammering here, civil disobedience movement, and there also you read about something called as pressure, compromise, pressure, struggle, truth, struggle. So what does that mean is any movement cannot go on forever. Similarly, war also cannot go on forever. If it has entered fourth year, that means now something has to happen, something big or something peaceful. People are hoping something peaceful happens. So Istanbul peace process has been revived after a long pause. You can see here 2 rounds of talks has happened. Istanbul is in Turkey as stated by Shashmita. Awesome. And now Trump administration, it is said that from last 3 months, he has sent different people. Donald Trump, although he looks like a, pinky poo, whatever you want to call him, but he is doing stuff. He is not that kiddish as you think him to be. Kit Kellogg, Marco Rubio, you can see these people, they have gone there and he is saying that this is a dangerous proxy war. We have seen the basic definition of proxy war when 2 people are fighting without getting directly involved. So this whole Ukraine-Russia war has changed into France-Russia war, USA-Russia war. All of them are involved in nuclear sharing we have just talked about. Plus, even though Ukraine is not a part of NATO, they are treating them as such. Russia is not liking it. In NATO, there is a provision. Attack on one is attack on all. So again, hope you are understanding where we are going with this. So proposed peace framework. Ukraine, no NATO membership. So again, there is another question which many people think about that, sir, whether Ukraine has nuclear warheads on their own or not. When Ukraine got divided, got separated from USSR, at that time, many people said that they were the country which has the 3rd largest nuclear stockpiles, but they gave it all away. So currently, Ukraine has no nuclear arms, but we have talked about the concept of nuclear sharing, which is there in NATO, which USA has used a lot. France is willing to use it now. So if we take into consideration that provision, you cannot discount the fact that maybe someday they can, install some nuclear warhead in Ukraine. Hopefully, they will not. Ceasefire, limited territorial concession. You can see here, this is the proposed peace framework. Russia, sanctions to be lifted. They want to cripple Russia economically. And now they are saying that we will remove this trade embargo and all those stuff. And sanctions will be lifted in a gradual manner. But whatever territories you have occupied, let's say you have occupied Crimea, we will not recognize it. That was not fair from your point of view and from our point of view as well. We will not be recognizing it. Cool. So again, Russia's demand, you can see here that Ukraine must remain neutral, ban NATO ties, demilitarize, withdraw troops and all those stuff. And Ukraine won't regroup with Western aid. The basic point is, since Ukraine is a direct neighbor of Russia don't want Ukraine to become a part of NATO. Russia doesn't want anything to do with this nuclear sharing thing so close to their borders. So again, you can understand. And Russia is taking it as again, we have talked about all these things. Western position is, see what European Parliament and NATO is saying. And that's why France just recently was talking about nuclear sharing, because they consider Russia as a state sponsor of terrorism. They feel that Russia is a terrorist state. Just like we talk about Pakistan as a terrorist state, same stance is there in Europe also. European people, they also feel like Russia is a terrorist state. But Joe Biden and even Trump now, they have just downgraded this whole thing that no, let's not go that far. We have to, we don't have to egg this matter on. We have to have a peace solution sooner rather than later. So that is what is written here. Russia's continued talk shows a genuine interest in ending the war. Anyway, they are reaching the 4th year of the war. It has to end sooner rather than later. So again, the author is saying peace must be bold, realistic. You can read all these things. Now let's talk about and let's solve some question. MCQ 7 in front of you. Cool, Sneha. So MCQ 7, Operation Spiderweb, recently seen in the news, refers to A NATO cyber surveillance initiative against Russia, a joint anti-terrorism exercise by Ukraine and Poland, a Ukrainian drone exercise operation on Russian bases, a European Union plan to strengthen internet security. Yaar. Shashmita, fastest. Sneha also. So it is a Ukrainian drone strike operations on Russian bases. That is what Mamta has also given the answer. That is the answer of Operation Spiderweb. Now this is MCQ 8. Which of the following correctly explains the term proxy war as used in the context of Russia-Ukraine conflict? Very good, Shashmita, Sneha, Mamta, Priya, Joshna. I'm so famous among girls. This is such a stupid joke. So, which of the following correctly explains the term proxy war as used in the context of Russia-Ukraine conflict? What is proxy war? We just talked about proxy war. War in which one country fights another directly, war fought entirely through cyber and economic means, conflict where external powers support different sides without direct engagement, and the last is civil war within a state with no external involvement. Now, when you're writing your answer, you also write 8C or something like that, because now from starting onwards I'm saying C, I'm very confused which C you are talking about. So here, this is the answer. C, conflict where external powers support different sides without direct engagement. USA is not directly fighting the war with Ukraine, but it seems like they are fighting the war. France is not directly fighting the war with Russia rather, but it seems like France is fighting against Russia, USA is fighting against Russia based on the importance and the things which are going on and the things which they are actually doing. Cool, sir. Hope you understood. Cool. So Sneha has given 8C, Mamta 8C. Awesome. Correct. Now, let's talk about some other news. Small news, but very important from exam perspective. Page number 4. Adventure enthusiast can now access strategically located Shipkila Pass in Himachal. Now, why this news is important? Because you will read geography. It's not like you will only read current affairs. So, the Shipkila Pass, it is there in Himachal Pradesh. Sometimes what happens, when you will read geography, you will read mountain passes, Bombdila, this and that, Nathula, and you will make a list of it and you will try to mug it up, paste it on your wall. That will not help. This will help. When you read newspaper, now you know, earlier this Shipkila Pass in Himachal, it was not open to people because of strategic reason. It's so close to India-China border. So that's why it was closed. Now they have opened it. Now they have opened the Shipkila Pass. So remember the Shipkila Pass, and not only Shipkila Pass. There is a homework which I am giving you now. Shipkila Himachal you will remember now because you have associated with a news. Your homework is read where is Bombdila, where is Nathula Pass. If you know it, you can post it in the comment section. That's how you connect stuff as well. Cool. So launch of border. Terrorism means terrorism. Tourism. Himachal Pradesh CM Sukhvinder Singh Sukhu, he has inaugurated border tourism at Shipkila. So Shipkila, Kinnaur district, that is in Himachal. Remember just state. You don't have to remember the district. And the earlier it was inaccessible to civilians because it's very close to India-China border. And remember also one thing, when you talk about, let's say, India-China relationship, etc., it is known as Sino-India. Sino-India relationship. You will never write India-China, Indo-China. Don't write Indo-China because Indo-China is a region. Never write Indo-China relationship because Indo-China is a region which includes, Vietnam, etc. Because they adopted culture from both India and China. So, whenever you're talking about China-India relationship, write Sino-India relationship. If you are talking about 1962 war, write Sino-India War of 1962. Okay, sir. So, earlier restriction, we have talked about it. Tourism ease. The government has now eased restrictions to allow tourists to explore the area, aiming to boost the local economy. So, this is one fact which you have to keep in mind. So, which one is in Sikkim, Joshna? Nathula, Bombdila. So, Shipkila, Himachal. Let's talk about some other small news. Page number 20. So, they have talked about Catherine. Who is Catherine? What is Catherine? Is Catherine the boyfriend of Katrina Kaif? That cannot be the case, right? because Katrina Kaif is married to Vicky Kaushal. So Katrine, now here, this is a very, very technical article, page number 20, Science and Tech. We don't have to go into that thing, deuterium, tritium, that's fine. But neutrino mass, subatomic particle, no. We just need to know some basic stuff about Katrine, that what is Katrine doing? Like, is it, measuring electron mass, proton mass, neutrino mass, what mass? So, what are the things which are important from exam perspective here? What is Katrine? This is a spectrometer which was made in Germany, which was so heavy that it was taken primarily by a seaways to different regions. Again, not important from exam perspective. What is important is what is Katrine and what is the basic purpose? To measure the mass of neutrino. What is a neutrino? It's a subatomic particle. Subatomic particle means particles which are smaller than an atom. Now here, the subatomic particle includes so many things, electron, protons, so many things. We don't need to go there. We don't need to go into dark matter, dark energy, nothing. Just remember the basic point here. What is Katrine? It is an instrument, it is a spectrometer which will measure the mass of neutrino. If they ask you just one line, you will remember it, that this is related to neutrino. Rest everything will come. We'll talk about subatomic particles later on also. For now, this small information will suffice. Cool, sir. I will share this particular Telegram, means PDF along with the answers. I've told you the answer anyway, but answers are there on my Telegram channel, Fun Study with Shubh. Also, you people were asking me a lot about, and yes, post your score in the comment section. Like out of 8 MCQs, we have solved 8 MCQs, right? Out of 8 MCQs, how many you got correct, you got wrong? I will take all the doubts also, which you posted in the comment section. Any more doubts you have, please post it in the comment section right now. Also, one more thing. For you people or for your siblings or your friends, let's say you are preparing for 2026. Here, what I'm seeing is there are many people, Sneha, others, who are 12th pass out, who want to prepare. Let's say you're preparing for 2026 or any of your siblings are preparing for 2026. You can join our Pratigya batch or you can tell your siblings or friends to join this particular batch, which admissions are closing on 15. Sometimes one particular query I have witnessed a lot. That's how to join this batch. I'm not getting the code or link and this and that. So I will just show you a process. You can tell this process to whosoever wants to join this course. So let me show you. This is StudyIQ.com. You can just go to website and you can click, you can write StudyIQ.com. Then what happens? You have a plethora of courses based on catering to different demands. So let's come down. See here, there is UPSC IS English. Go to UPSC IS English. Cool. And here, this is the batch which we are talking about. Now, when you have come to this particular batch, you know what to do. You have to do buy now. Let's say you have done buy now. Now, there is something called as 2 offers available. Add promo code. In the bottom, you are seeing SHS Live. Let's say you just apply that SHS Live. Let me just show you the whole process so that you can tell other people also. That helps actually. So let's say this is my code SHS Live. Currently, the prices are 35, 999, 30 and based on like different features. And so if I just apply this whole thing, see 7,000 has reduced from diamond, platinum, gold and the prices has reduced. These are the features: live classes, lecture notes, one-to-one mentorship, mains residential program, interview guidance, and you can also call on our number. There will be a number. This is the number you can call if you have any further queries. I can't purchase, please. I will do that. Don't worry. I'm just telling, if you or any of your friends or siblings, they want to do that, this is the process. You use my code SHS Live, prices reduced by 7,000, you can buy it now. So hope this particular process is clear. How you can join our Pratigya batch. Now let's take those doubts. So I was telling you, the answers are like this. At the end, I have included the answer. So you will see these answers. Now let's see the doubts, the queries which you people have. Sneha has got 7 out of 8 correct. Awesome. Shashmita 8 out of 8. Shashmita, are you on Telegram? Oh my God, you people have started doing Dida. That is actually cool. So Priya is asking any book or study material. Right now, Priya, I think you have just done 12th. You were telling, right? So what you have to do is, just follow us, watch me on Hindu and just have a look at your syllabus right now. There are certain materials which are common for every, like if you are saying that you will not be able to purchase the batch right now, don't worry about it. There are certain books which you can refer to, like in polity you can refer to Lakshmikant. There are certain books in history, there is a like Spectrum and other books which whatever suits you. But first of all, just join these Hindu classes, whatever is going on right now, so that your basics gets cleared. Have a look at the UPSC syllabus. Remember your syllabus. Also decide And what will be your optional? Because your optional ethics and essay, that determines your rank in UPSC. So all these things you have to first of all take care. Just attend the classes, everything will be clear. Sir, I'm second year and my first attempt will be in 2027. Any tips? The thing which you are doing right now, Sneha, is actually very good. This whole thing, if you keep on attending these lectures, that will, make your base very strong. And right now, only one more thing which you can do is think about your optional from now onwards only. What is your graduation subject and what optional you will be taking? Sir, I passed 12th and I completed basics NCERT 6 to 12th. Cool. So now once you have completed your basics NCERT 6 to 12th, read it again apart from attending these lectures and make a note of it. Like the proper note making. There is a video also I have made on how to make proper notes and you can watch it. Oxford survey, how to absorb textbook like a sponge. So do note making, but right now, Priya, apart from this, also focus on your optional. So you will be attempting in 2026. You're good, Shashmita. I have seen you. I've seen the way you answer question. You are very, very fast. So just keep on doing what you are doing and choose your optional wisely and everything else will take care of itself. Any other queries, sir and ma'am? I have told you the whole process also. If you want to join the batch, if you have any queries, and this whole thing, let's say you or your sibling or your friend, they want to join, this is actually good. And there is one-on-one mentorship apart from the other features which are there, And let me tell you the other things also so that this whole thing is complete. So admissions, this is an evening batch, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. It will happen. And what else will be there? This is a Prelims and Mains Residential Program. This is P2I, Prelims to Interview Program. So interview guidance program will be included. If you top our monthly quiz, you will get 11,000 reward. Also, if you clear UPSC pre-2026, we'll initiate full refund for you. So prices, you have seen the prices, how it is reducing once you are using my code. So again, if you clear UPSC pre-2026, we are writing it explicitly, you can see it there, that we will initiate full refund, whatever fee you will be giving after the deduction and everything. That is actually a very good thing. I keep on telling people about it. And one-on-one mentorship is also there because sometimes, as I've stated earlier, we don't want to study. We just want somebody to listen to us, to vent our feelings. In that scenario, one-on-one mentorship helps. And mock tests are also there, GS, CSAT and others. Cool, sir. So anything else? PSIR is my optional. That is one of the best option. I am in BSc program. Cool, sir. I'm in third year, sir. What should I do? First of all, focus on your optional, Roy. What optional you will be choosing? That is very important. Once you have decided your optional, and don't decide it haphazardly, take 1 or 2 weeks time. Keep on attending these classes, these lectures, because these lectures will make your base. You will be remembering your GS 1 to 4 syllabus. And apart from that, optional you have to do, right? So think about your optional, what you have to do, and keep on attending these lectures. Try to ensure that, let's say we are having 10 MCQs, you are getting most of them correct. And again, I will reiterate the fact, the people who will be watching it later on also, whatever, do tell your score in the comment section if you feel like it. So Roy, just keep on doing what you're doing. BPSC Resilient Warrior, the pattern of BPSC is somewhat different from UPSC. Sometimes people feel, this is again an important question which Resilient Warrior is asking. Sometimes people feel that since they have written UPSC interview, so they can easily clear PSCs. Don't be in that domain. It's not like that. Plus, the pattern is somewhat different. It will help you, UPSC preparation. But there are certain things which are different in different state PSCs. Sometimes they become very factual. Sometimes the PSC's process become very long. And, sometimes paper leak will happen. Paper leak or these things, though, even in UPSC, there are certain things which are happening. But more or less, UPSC is more transparent, if you call it that way, than the PSCs. I'm not saying anything against any other organization resilient. I'm just telling that, you cannot take for granted that if you have given UPSC interview, you will crack PSC. So PSC has some other stuff. You have to read some factual materials more and you have to focus on that more. So accordingly, you have to prepare. But yes, conceptual clarity is very important. Let's say you are reading Hindu, you are understanding all these things, you are reading about different operations. Obviously, this will help you in BPSC also. This will help you in any exam, bro. Because, if you have read Hindu, if you have understood certain stuff, these will give you conceptual clarity, can be used in any exam. Geography or PSIR, which subject will help me in both pre-mains if I choose as the optional? Geography. See, earlier what used to happen, Priya, there were certain subjects around 2013-14, like, PubAd, like geography. So those are evergreen subjects at that time. People used to get a lot of marks. But last 5-6 years, the marks have reduced, the competition has increased. So out of geography and PSIR, people are opting more for PSIR based on topper rank, etc. But it also depends on your preference, what you are choosing. Like ideally, you should opt for PSIR. Both are merging with UPSC GS syllabus. Geography GS Mains Paper 1 and PSIR GS Mains Paper 2. But PSIR is vast, PSIR is interesting if you ask my opinion. You have more better sources for PSIR. But it's at the end, it's your calls, Priya. Cool. So any other queries? Sir, is very scoring, very scoring. Anthro, PSIR, sociology, these are evergreen optionals. Not to take anything away from other optionals. Maths, very marks fetching. But not everybody can read maths. You don't have enough resources for maths. But yes. PubAd, it was an evergreen optional once. It's a good optional even now. But yes, many people have started taking PubAd, geography, history. So competition has stiffened up or it has become a little tricky. Cool. Any other queries? Chepandis. Chepandis means tell me. Okay then. So I will see you people tomorrow. I will upload this particular PDF within 5-10 minutes. Sir, I am going for BA LLB. Recently, I appear in CUAT BA LLB. Can I choose law as my optional PSIR? See, out of law and PSIR, PSIR is a better optional when you're talking from UPSC perspective, based on the ranks which we have got. But it doesn't mean that law is not a good optional. At the end, your preference will matter more. But other things also you have to take into consideration. The material which you have available for law, what institutes are providing help in law optional. So all these things, comes into consideration, Priya, and you have to take into account that fact. So out of law or PSIR, PSIR. Any other queries, sir and ma'am? Shall I be gone then? Thank you, Sneha. I will see you people tomorrow, 10 a.m. and kill it and revise all the things. I will share the PDF in 10-15 minutes. In my Telegram channel, let me show you the Telegram channel again. You can join it. This is the Telegram channel, Fun Study with Shubh. And any queries related to the batch, etc., you can call on the number. Cool. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Sneha, Shashmita, Priya, Roy, Sanjana, and Sneha and others. Bye-bye.